Have you ever wondered why one day you can talk halfway around the world and the next day you can't even hear the next state? Or maybe you've heard operators talking about things like the bands are open, solar conditions are great, or the MUF is too low today. If you're new to amateur radio, it can sound like people are speaking another language. The truth is, they're talking about radio propagation. We're going to talk about that today on this episode of Ham Radio for Beginners, right here on Ham Shack TV. Let's hit it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ham Radio for Beginners, this series on Ham Shack TV. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm Josh AA4WX, and in our last episode, we introduced you to the exciting world of high-frequency radio, or HF radio. Today, we're going to answer one of the biggest questions in amateur radio. How does a signal travel around the world? Before we get started, don't forget to check out my friends at Gigaparts, guys. They are the sponsor of this series, and they are just one of my favorite companies on the planet. Robbie and his team down at Huntsville, Alabama, they are expanding. New things are coming all the time. Check out their website right now. Well, not right now, but after you view this video at gigaparts.com. Or if you're in the Huntsville, Alabama area, check out their beautiful showroom at 6123 University Avenue. There in Huntsville, Alabama. They've got HF stuff. They've got radio stuff, transceivers, power supplies, amps, antennas, you name it, they've got it. Maybe you're into computers. They've got computer building supplies. Maybe you're into photography. They've got that as well. It is a fantastic place. Gigaparts.com, coupon code HAMShackTV, get you twice the rewards points. Appreciate Gigaparts' support of Ham Shack TV. So, let's get started. If you have ever skipped a rock across a lake, you've noticed or you've already seen a simple example of what's happening. Instead of traveling in a straight line forever, the rock bounces off the surface of the water. HF radios do the same thing. Instead of bouncing off of the water, they bend and reflect through the layers of charged particles high above the Earth. Those particles are part of what's called the ionosphere. The ionosphere, that's a hard word to say, begins roughly 50 miles above the surface of the Earth. 50 miles, that's a long way, guys. Excuse me. And that extends for hundreds of miles into space. It's constantly changing. During the day, the sun energizes those layers, and at night, they begin to change. Because of that, the best amateur radio band at noon may not be and probably will not be the best band after sunset. And that is completely normal. You'll hear often operators say the bands are open, and that simply means conditions are favorable for radio signals to travel a long distance. Sometimes 10 meters is alive with stations from around the world. Other days, it seems completely silent. The same is true for every HF band. Another factor is the 11-year solar cycle. The sun goes through periods of higher and lower activity. During periods of high solar activity, higher frequency HF bands often perform much better. During quieter periods, lower frequency bands tend to become more reliable. Then there's something called the maximum usable frequency, or the MUF. Don't worry about memorizing that term. Just think of it as the highest frequency that can reliably travel between two locations at a given time. Above the MUF, signals often pass through the ionosphere and continue into space. Below it, they have a better chance of returning to Earth. You'll also hear about the lowest usable frequency, or the LUF. That's the lowest frequency that can make the trip without being absorbed or weakened too much. Every contact happens somewhere between the LUF and the MUF. One of the coolest propagation effects is called the gray line propagation. The gray line is the area where day and night meet around the Earth, so around sunrise and sunset. Radio conditions can sometimes become exceptional along that path. Operators use gray line propagation to make contacts that would normally be impossible. Weather isn't usually the biggest factor in HF propagation. Instead, space weather becomes a much larger role. Solar flares, coronal mass ejections, and changes in Earth's magnetic field can all affect radio conditions. That's why many operators check space weather forecasts before getting on the air. The important thing to remember is this: propagation is never exactly the same. That's part of what makes HF so exciting. Every day is different. Every band behaves differently. And every contact teaches you something new. So here's today's big takeaway. Propagation isn't magic, it's science. But it's also one of the most fascinating parts of amateur radio. Understanding propagation helps you choose the right band, operate at the right time, and make contacts you never thought were possible. In our next episode, we are going to introduce one of the fastest growing activities in amateur radio, FT8 and digital HF modes. We will explain what FT8 is and why it's so popular and how it works, and whether it's the right operating mode for you. If you found this video helpful, give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, Ham Shack TV, and always share this video or a video with a new ham that may need to learn something. Don't forget to check out Ham Shack Radio on hamshacktv.com, brand new 24-hour radio station right there on Ham Shack TV or hamshacktv.com. You'll be able to hear some of your great favorite YouTubers: Ham Radio 2.0, Ham Radio Crash Course, my show, Marvin's Show, World Radio League, Amateur Radio Newsline, ARRL News, and much more. Check them out. Check it out. hamshacktv.com for Ham Shack Radio. I'll see you in the next video, 73, AA4WX, WSCB 693.